a few months back, I bought like 3 or 4 wigs for Cherie to. Initially, the idea was that I was going to do like a cheap wig haul thing, right? But the time that it's been between buying those wigs and now, we've already installed most of them, except for this one off camera. I filmed the other ones with the full intention of uploading them, but it just never happened. So pretty much what we're doing today is installing, I think it's like 24 inches or something, that goes down to Cherie's waist. It's a white blonde, like super coily, curly, synthetic lace frontal wig. I think we spent like $30 on it. It was transparent lace. Yeah. All that being said, I'm gonna shut up and we're gonna get on to the video with a little bit of a voiceover for you guys.
Alright, so step one, we are going to slap her hair up into 2 very quick French braids. I'm not going for anything pretty here, it's going to go under a wig. So of course I use Got To Be Glued Ultra, hold whatever, the black bottle, and use that to make sure that regardless of how good my braid is, it's gonna lay flat and, not have any flyaways, pretty much. I mean, I'm a pretty good braider, I think, at least, but, it just makes sure that everything's gonna stay up there. Um, so yeah, just gonna braid that down. I'm using I think it's called an inverted braid, which is essentially just another way of saying French braid, which is when the braid is on the underside of the hair, so you can't see it. I think it's also called an invisible braid. And there's no specific reason why I chose to do a French braid instead of a Dutch braid or a cornrow or whatever. It's just the braid that comes easier to me being left-handed, so that's why I did it. But yeah, anyways. Oh, also, by the way, so I know there's the huge pile of clothing in the background, which I know you can't see right now because I'm all zoomed in, but yeah, that's our laundry pile or laundry mountain, and I just want you guys to know that, not that I really care what anyone thinks, but it does get changed out. We don't have a laundry room or anywhere to put our laundry before it gets folded. So it sits on that couch, and no matter what we do, there will always be laundry on that couch. So, zooming in just to show you guys, my daughter was coloring the other day, and the wig was sitting next to her, and she said she accidentally colored on it, but I don't really know. I think there was probably some malicious intent there, but that's alright. We still love her. We're not mad. We're not bitter. So I slowed it down here so that you guys could see the the time that I take, I guess, to make sure that I know roughly where her wig's hairline is going to fall on top of her actual hairline. Just that way I can make sure that I'm not like sitting there messing with it when there is actual, like sticky gel adhesive stuff on there. So as always, if you guys watch any YouTubers on here that do their own wig installs, typically they tend to use Got To Be Glued, pretty much just, yeah, Got To Be Glued, the blasting freezing spray, which is the yellow bottle I'm using here, and then they'll either use the yellow squeeze tube of the Got To Be gel, or they'll use the black squeeze tube of Got To Be gel. The blasting freezing spray is literally ice cold when it comes out of there. Which is why you'll see Cherie react the way that she does right here.
Why does that stuff have to be cold?
Because it's blasting.
Yeah, she literally every time I use it, she flinches, and yeah, it's her least favorite part of the wig install. But that spray is a necessary part of it, just because if you could get by doing the install without that spray, but because I've done it before, but the gel doesn't seem to dry as quickly and doesn't seem to get as tacky. So I don't know what it is about the combination of the two, but the layer of spray first, and then the layer of gel, and then blow drying that's your first layer, and then you do that again, that's your second layer, then you do that again, that's your third layer, and on your third layer, you blow dry it until it feels like, I want to say like Elmer's glue. It's about like the consistency of Elmer's glue when you when Elmer's glue dries down a little bit, how it has that springy, sticky feel to it. That's essentially what you're looking for. And then I just stopped and slowed down so that you guys can see that I always do take my time to pull the lace down and position the hairline. You want to make sure when you do this that you are pulling the lace tight and making sure that you're stretching it out to prevent any wrinkles as you lay it. The last like 2 or 3 times that I installed Cherie's wigs, I struggled with wrinkles. I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong, but I had wrinkles on the forehead in the very center, so it was super noticeable. She still wore the wig because we're not too worried about her getting clocked for wearing a wig, but yeah, it was still super frustrating for me because I'm a perfectionist and I like my stuff to look perfect all the time, even though that's not always possible. So yeah, anyways, I'll have her hold the ear tabs, and then I'll go in with the blow dryer on cool. By the way, when you blow dry your gel, it should be on a cool setting if you have a cool setting. It just helps the glue dry clear.
I know it's probably not too comfortable around your ears.
So yeah, and then give it a quick blow dry, just kind of help it melt down into the lace, and then I tie a headband around it just to further help it melt down.
Now we're going to go take a dab, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be back.
Alright, and we're back after our dab break. So the rest of this video is pretty much just me cutting the lace and doing a quick style, which I think is all pretty self-explanatory. So I think what I'm going to do is use this opportunity to kind of somewhat discuss the wig itself, because the intro, I didn't really know exactly what to say about it. So straight away, the first thing we noticed about it, as you would notice with any curly wig like this, but especially with synthetic wigs, there is no combing this, there's no finger combing this, there's no detangling at all. Like, don't bother, because you will just end up with a frizzy mess that's very hard to come back from. I'm really lucky that we didn't try to detangle it too much or finger comb it too much. But yeah, I definitely noticed that there's no point in trying to detangle it. Just kind of fluff it up a little bit, give it a good shake when you pull it out, maybe get it wet with some cold water and then scrunch it up and dry it with a towel and give it a good shake. But ultimately, you just want to leave the curls in the wave pattern alone, because they're not going to break apart as easily as it would if it were real hair. So pretty much what we did is we got it installed. I did the style that I did to keep it out of her face. And then I just told Cherie that with this wig, you're just going to have to like smooth it down with your fingers and your hands. Don't actually worry about tangles because it's not ever going to be tangle free.
And poofy.
I like it down, but I was picturing it with like...
Yes, that's actually what I was thinking as well.
Something like this, and then bobby pin it back there,
and then decide on...
Same over here, just bobby pin it back so it stays out of your face, and then, I don't know, maybe even like grab a chunk of it and do a braid that comes down on the side.
Yes.
Right.
Like all those ideas.
Sounds good.
So yeah, all in all, I would say that it's a good wig for the money. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we only spent, it was like 32 something before shipping and taxes and stuff, and we got it off of AliExpress. I thought that I had gotten it off of Amazon, but I was wrong. The only thing with AliExpress is that because everything from them typically does come from China, it does take about a week to reach you.
Those fancy phone stands we bought, and we could have just got you a case like this in the TV.
Well, I only did this because we no longer have that.
Oh, I know.
My final thoughts on this are, for a wig that you only spent $32 to $42 on, I don't really think you can go wrong with this. I'd say it's definitely not going to last you a really long time. Synthetic wigs typically don't last very long. But this one, I would say if you were to wear it daily, it's definitely not going to hold up very long. Cherie only wears her wigs for about a day at a time. And then even then, we only wear her synthetic wigs maybe 2 or 3 times before we retire them and just buy a new one because they are so affordable. So just keep that in mind when you do, if you do purchase this wig, that it's not necessarily for daily wear, but it is definitely worth the small amount of money that you will spend on it. Alright, so this is the finished result, just kind of showing you guys what it looks like in total, like all around, showing you the curl pattern, the movement. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Would you spend $32 to $40 on this from AliExpress? Let me know in the comments. Also, a big thank you to everyone who watched this far and all the new subscribers.